Hi, welcome to Chad's Silversmithing. I thought today might be a good day to do kind of a beginner project, so I'm going to do a no solder project. Last time I did this, it seemed relatively popular. I think it's a good way for someone who's interested in silversmithing, who has not yet moved on to the stage where they're ready to buy a torch and everything, might be able to make some really pretty stuff without having a lot of sophisticated tools. So this one's going to be like that. I'm going to make a ring out of silver sheet, and we'll be just using a saw to cut some of it out, and then a particular stamp that I have to decorate it. So I think it should be pretty. We'll see how it turns out, but it should be a good project for a beginner. So let's get started on it. So this is a few of the various types of design idea sketchbooks I have on my merch store. Most of them have some useful information on the back. This one has a gauge to inches to millimeter conversion chart. This one has fractions of an inch to decimals to millimeters. But I use them to keep track of all my projects that I do, especially for this channel. And it's nice to be able to go back and revisit those projects. This is the one I'm using right now. It has some information about flow temperatures on various types of solder. So the real feature on these that I like is the dot matrix in the background. It helps me to draw better pictures because I am not a terribly good two-dimensional artist. So let's see what we have on the slab here today. This is what I'm thinking. It's going to be kind of simple and sort of a little bypass ring made out of sheet. I've cut myself a piece of 18 gauge sheet, which is 1 millimeter thick, and what we're going to do is I already traced this out with some paper, and we'll cut that out of here, and then I'm going to draw kind of a design on here. And I think this stamp that I got from somewhere, I don't know where I got it from, but it looks like from when I was a kid when I did leatherworking. It's one of those background texture stamps for the recessed areas to give it some contrast, and it works great for silver too. And I'm going to use this to kind of isolate a pattern on the thing, and I may even oxidize it at the end to see how it looks, to make it stand out a little bit. But I think that'll make for kind of a cool design, something unique. And you certainly wouldn't have to do a design like this. You could do all sorts of different designs. You could do little circles or some kind of more some kind of less abstract shape. So our first step is going to be cutting out this piece out of this 18 gauge sheet. So I'm going to glue this onto this piece here with just a little bit of super glue, and then we'll saw it out. I'm going to be using a 00 on this, and I like to put a hole in the piece so that the object that I'm cutting out is completely contained inside of the border of the piece if I'm going to be cutting the whole thing out. Find that you get less floppy ends moving around on you and stuff. I'm going to go this way. All right, so I'm going to neaten this up with the file a little bit. If you need to brace stuff when you're filing it, that's fine. I do when I need to have a whole lot of precision. So, okay, so I think I'm gonna, I wonder if I can draw this with a pencil first. I did a little test on some copper, and I like the way it kind of comes out. It should stand out pretty significantly from the shiny part, so let's see. That looks pretty nice. I'm going to try and use a T-pin to kind of scratch this in now. You probably don't have to do this step. I just like to delineate where the edge of the texture is going to go, kind of. I suppose if you had a graver, you could use that for this. I don't imagine a lot of people have gravers when they first start out, though. If you ever do something that I do on the channel, I always love seeing other people's work, so I'll almost certainly tell you how amazing you are. You show me. That's pretty good. Good enough, probably. Okay. I think I might have to move this as I go, but I'm going to tape it down so it doesn't move around a lot when I'm. Let me do it like this. I don't know if that's on there good enough to help at all, but I think the other side probably will. Okay, so the good thing about these texturing stamps is they kind of are pear-shaped, but a narrow pear, so they come to a point up here, so I can kind of get in this point. Let me grab a hammer. So we'll try and get that right in that tip there. I'll try to keep it inside of the lines, just like in kindergarten they told you to when you're coloring, right? Kind of tilting it to get it into the areas where there's less space. Probably going to go over it one more time, but you probably don't have to watch me do that, just to make sure I get a really deeply and pretty evenly pressed in pattern there, so I'll be right back. Okay, we're getting close to done here, so I think what I'll do is I may do a little bit more touch up here, like that's not quite connected, so I'm going to try and put another little couple of dimples there. And then I'll hit it on the polishing wheel and we'll shape it after that. If you do have a torch and it gets work hardened by doing this too much, you can always anneal it, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, I'll be back and show you the finished product in a bit. Okay, I got it cleaned up on the polishing wheel, and I did oxidize it in there a little bit and then buff off the outer part, so it gave it kind of a little more contrast to the shiny silver. So let's spin this around kind of the smaller part of the mandrel here. And then work our way up. You can put this as far apart as you want, I suppose. That'll give you some adjustability as well. It's kind of a bypass rig. Oops. So, I think that's pretty cool. I like it. I would almost wear that, and I don't wear jewelry. All right, well, hopefully that gave you some ideas. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your ideas about what you might do in this same kind of format. And hopefully it gives you a starting place if you haven't bought your tools yet that you can do with some pretty basic tools. So I think I looked up those stamps for leather, and they're only about 10 bucks, I think. So that plus a jeweler's saw plus a hammer and you got it made pretty much. So simple project. I like it. I'll get some better pictures and put them at the end. Well, that was the texture stamp background design ring. I'm not sure what we're going to call that one, but if you enjoyed it and if you learned something, I'd love it if you'd hit the like button. And I'd also love it if you take a moment and visit my main channel page. I have over 600 videos now. I've been doing this for over 4 years. And at 3 per week, it adds up pretty quick. So there's a lot of content over there. And I think you're almost certain to find something else interesting or useful. And I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel as well. It doesn't cost anything, and it really helps me out a lot. So I'd appreciate it if you did that. I wanted to thank a couple of groups of people. My patrons are my core group of supporters over on Patreon. And I truly value their support, not only the financial part, but just the really nice community that they've built over there. It's full of a bunch of artistic people with great ideas, and we can kind of share resources with each other. So I really enjoy that, and I want to thank them for making it that kind of a community. So thanks for that, you guys. The other group are my YouTube subscribers, and I think we just passed 27,000, maybe 400 or 300. It may be 400 by the time this video comes out. I'm not 100% sure, but it's in that range. That's an amazing number. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate your support as well. The comments that you leave are really helpful to me. I appreciate the kind, constructive criticism as well as ideas for videos. And when you share your techniques as well. I learn a lot of stuff from all of you, and I really appreciate that because learning is part of the point of this. So thanks for that. Thanks also for the financial contributions like the Buy Me a Coffees, a super thanks, the purchases of my merch on my merch store, as well as my ebook purchases. So thank you for that. That really keeps this channel sustainable, and I appreciate it. Finally, visit the video description down below for some important links. There's a link to my newest ebook, which is 2025's tutorial guide. It has a page for each of the tutorials in it that I did last year. And on each page there's a link to the video, plus there's also a picture of the original drawing that I made prior to doing the project, a picture of the final product, a list of materials it takes to make the project, stone information if there's a stone in it, a difficulty rating, and some notes I took about the project. Things like what I learned from doing this one, or would I do it differently if I was to do it again, or did I like the outcome or not, and why. So lots of good information, a whole bunch of projects right at your fingertips, and a great way to support my channel if you get those. There's even 3 different kinds. You can get a package deal if you get all 3 of them for $15 off. So check it out. I think it's a way to have a great deal of projects for yourself to work on. There's also a link to my Patreon if you want to find out more about that community. It's a great place over there with multiple tiers of membership. There's also a link to my merch store if you want to get yourself one of those nice design idea sketchbooks or something else metalsmithing related that I offer over there. So get yourself a present. You deserve it. All right, well, thanks for watching today. Take care. Happy silversmithing.